Hello, I'm Vince Bourbon, the delivery specialist here at We Are Airstream of Chandler, and today I wanted to briefly go over some of the highlights of the 2026 Bambi 22-foot trailer. We'll start out up front. This is where obviously you'll hook up to your trailer ball. You have an emergency brake cord here. You have a 7-way pin which once plugged into your tow vehicle will run your trailer brakes, your trailer lights, and charges your battery as you're driving. You have an electric jack here that goes up and down with a light. You also have a small level here, but there's a tool that's provided by Airstream that if in the event this malfunctions, you would turn this, remove this, and the tool goes in there and you can manually open or lift up the trailer and lower it. Around this side, you have a propane auxiliary port. If you wanted to use propane from the trailer, you can purchase a low flow hose and then use the propane here to ignite your cooking stove or a fire pit. And then on this side, you have a solar port right here if you wanted to plug in an auxiliary solar port. You also have a full-size spare tire underneath the trailer. To access that, you have a bar with a pin. You would pull the pin out, the bar drops down, and you just remove the spare tire. Then your house batteries are in this enclosure here, depending on what batteries you choose for your trailer. And then you have your front window, which does unlock from the inside and opens. The rock guard has been opened, and if you want to clean behind these side panels, you would turn these 2 screws on each side half a turn, and that would release it, and then the panel will come out. It's on a hinge. As we come around the driver's side of the trailer, you have a placard here similar to your tow vehicle that tells you the recommended tire pressures. Then you have your hot water heater panel here. Usually it's for access if you needed service or whatnot, or you need to drain the hot water heater. As you come along here, this is just an access panel for your furnace if you needed service on that. This door allows you to put fresh water into your trailer. So if you were going to be traveling and or boondocking and you wanted water on board, you would fill that tank up here. And then this is a smart plug. This is a 30 amp plug for this particular trailer. You would squeeze this and just pull this out. This just means we're plugged into electricity. Put the cord in, you just squeeze that and push it back in, and you have onboard electricity. Here you have a cable port. This is an outside shower. You have a hose that comes with the trailer. You plug that in, you have hot and cold. And then over here you have your freshwater fill for potable water. If you were at an RV park, you would get a marine grade hose, hook it up to the hose bib, and then plug it in here. Once you turn that on, you have free flowing water inside your trailer. This does have a built-in regulator as well. This is for your black tank flush. This would be a different hose. Definitely you would not use freshwater hose. Usually those are gray or orange. You would hook that up. You would have your black tank closed. You would turn on the water. It has sprayers inside the tank. Never let it overfill. Once it gets to about 75 or 80%, you would shut the water off and then open the black tank lever, and then the water would come out and be clear. Speaking of that, this is where you'd hook up your sewer hose. On Airstream, they actually have them not only marked black and gray, but the handles correspond. So this black handle would be for the black tank, gray handle would be for the gray tank. Remember, black tank is just your toilet. That's it. The gray tank is everything else. Shower, sinks, whatnot. As we come around the back, you have a backup camera here. Comes with a monitor when you purchase a new Airstream. and we will hook that up on delivery. That allows you to see the back of the trailer. It stays on all the time. The monitor is in your vehicle, and you can also hear people back here when that's hooked up. As we move around to the passenger side, you have 110 outlet here outside. You have a outside foot light. You have the steps on this particular trailer just fold up and go in, and that's it. Very simple. This comes out. We come to the screen door. Airstream recommends that if you're going to close the door, that you have the screen door attached. Do not have the screen door shut and then slam the door itself. That will prevent this plastic here. Hopefully it will meet every time, but Airstream recommends that once the screen door is attached, you shouldn't have any issues. You have a deadbolt lock here and a regular door lock. You need to be careful. You can lock the door. You can lock the door here, slam the door. If you have the keys, that is one way you could lock yourself out if you lock the door and didn't have the keys with you. A good habit is when you close the door, lock the door from the outside. You should never have that problem. It's also recommended that if you paint this red or a bright color, you'll never mistakenly have it out and close the door and then dent or make a mark on the door frame. We have a storage compartment here. The storage compartment has a light. It's hidden in here. And then on this particular model, you have a manual shade screen, 2 locks on the outside, and then you use the wand that's provided. You would pull that out and then lock in the arms. If you go to our website, and it's posted below, there's a more in-depth video on how to actually operate this manual awning. We'll go inside. As you come in, you have some light switches and dimmers here. You have a full-size bathroom. You have a shower, full-size shower in here. Always when you're traveling, you want to lock this so the door doesn't come open. Then you have porcelain toilet. The toilet has a pump action down below. To fill the bowl, you would push the pump down. To empty the bowl, you completely push it down. If you activate the pump slightly, water will fill up the bowl. And then you have your control panel in here. So you have, this will tell you what your solar is doing and what you're drawing in. The main control panel for your tanks is right here. This has your battery. If your battery is fully charged, it has the freshwater tank, and it's in gallons, what's in the tank, your gray and your black. So you can see when you're at 100% or when it needs to be emptied. And then you have a water pump here. That button is your water pump. It's not recommended leaving the water pump on when you're not using it. This is the new water heater thermostat. You can turn it on, and then you can set the temperature of what you want your water level, and then light switch. You have a outside fan. This one is manual. You pull this down. Pull it down, and then you open this manually, and then you would turn it on. It's recommended not to be driving with the vent cap on, and then you push that up. So we come around to this side. You have closet storage. There's your wand for the awning. You have a light in here. This is your heater vent. The heater vents are all along the bottom of the trailer. You have a smart TV and to activate the TV and swing it and it swivels, you pull this cord down. When you pull it down, it releases it from the wall and then it comes out. For traveling, you always want to make sure you lock it back in. You have the thermostat on this wall for your air conditioner. You would just turn that on. Now this particular air conditioner is an air conditioner. It runs a fan. It also runs a heat pump and your furnace. You have a 12-volt refrigerator. This also works when you're hooked up to your 7-way pin traveling down the road. It will stay cold. You always want to make sure that you close this and make sure it locks in. Sometimes you need to push on it for traveling so you don't have something come out of the refrigerator. Down here you have a carbon monoxide detector, and you have your fuses and your breakers. In here you have your cooktop, 2-burner stove. To activate that, you just put the dial in, turn it towards the flame, and then you would ignite it here. You have a microwave. You have a full-size sink. It is recommended that when you're traveling, this does vibrate, so you maybe want to put these under a cushion or under the bed so they don't vibrate and damage something. More lights here that are manual. You have a stereo, Clarion stereo, that does connect with Bluetooth, streaming, AM, FM. You also have an antenna booster. This is for the roof. It's built in. When you're not using it, it's recommended that you push the button in and turn that green light off because it does have a parasitic draw if you don't do that. Over here you have a dinette. This table actually does a number of things. One is you will release these 2 hinges here. The table will swivel around. It also will go down. You can bring it all the way down, lift up the cushions, and lock these in and make this into a bed or a lounge area. The other feature is you have a pin right here. If you pull the pin out underneath here, this table also swivels back and forth. And then put that in, you just bring the pin back in, and then you can always lock these, and then the table won't move. This is your air conditioner. You can regulate, since it's not vented, you can regulate the amount of air on 4 sides. And there is a filter in here if you remove this. As we come over here to the bed area, you have some USB ports down below next to the bed. And then this bed actually does lift up as well, and you have more storage under there. You have another vent here. So if you have that open, you want to get air moving through. These vents, by the way, just suck air from the inside out. It doesn't bring any air. So that concludes the walkthrough on the 22-foot Bambi. If you're interested in any Airstream products, please visit us at We're Airstream in Chandler, Arizona.